Hello everybody and welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Republic. We've got some stuff we need to do. We need to go to Wurwell. We need to go all the way over here and talk to these people and tell them what happened to that Wookiee that we found that was actually a slaver. So we need to do that and see what happens with that. So let's go to Wurwell first. Let's talk to Wurwell. I'm Martin Bell. I help Freya return to power. I'm a friend. Do you know whose boat casing this is? This boat casing was found on Vorwar's body. Outsiders only lie when their mouths are open. We're always dealing with slavers. Do you know anything about this? Very well. What do you have to say about it? Okay. I'll speak. He wants to speak to me directly. I know they had a reason to kill Rorwar. The holder of the laws will decide my fate in proper Wookiee tradition. Okay, so I need to go talk to the holder of the laws then. Okay, so the holder of the laws.
Big Z, we gotta do something about your breath. I didn't want to say anything, but it's bad. Worse than usual, which is hard to believe. In fact, now that I think about it, your breath has been pretty rancid ever since we rescued you from those Gamorrean slavers. What'd they feed you, buddy? Oh, Zalbar, that's terrible. I know how grouchy you get if you don't get your 8 square meals a day. I'm amazed you didn't pass out from hunger. Ew! No wonder your breath is so bad, Big Z. Gamorreans smell like bantha poodoo. We'll have to pick you up a toothbrush to clean that stench out of your choppers. Okay, relax. No toothbrush. Sheesh. Just try and eat something else to cover up that smell, okay? Stay away from anything that's smart enough to lock you in a cage this time.
Okay, now before I was rudely interrupted, the holder of the laws is down here, I believe. Yes, he is. I'm actually kind of annoyed because before I started this, I went and I I leveled up all my other party members, and then my game crashed. Before I could save, so I lost all that progress, and I just like re-equipped all my party members and leveled them up and everything, and was annoyed. And it was right when I finished as well. It was right when I finished. I must have just been a bit too bad for the fast for the game. So here is the holder of the laws. Do you know who owns this boat casing? Tell me something, what's the penalty for murder? I found Jarek's bolt casing on Roar's corpse. You probably will be able to. Jarek, wouldn't you say anything in your own defense? Is there no alternative to death as punishment? I know that Jarek had justification because Roar was dealing with slavers. Yes, I'm gonna tell them. Won't you say anything in your own defense? No, I'm not gonna let you do this. I won't let Roar was dealing with slavers. No, I won't let this happen. Even if he was supposed to be good, it's better that people know the truth of who he really was. You can't have a false prophet. It will come out eventually. Roar dealt with slavers. The data pad I found in his corpse proves it. I can look up to you, Jarek. So there's a little moral choice for you there. Personally, I believe I did the right thing. What reward? 1/3 of his wealth. That's pretty awesome. Can I ask you if anything is happening now? Goodbye to you. So we get 400 credits, which I was quite happy. So we got light hit points. We finished that over and did everything. So that's everything I think that we can do in the Rubukru, I can't pronounce that, village. Let's check in on Wurwell and Jakar, and then head back to the Zerka outpost. And once we've checked in on them, let's see what they have to say about it. Blah 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 blah, lightsaber time. Just for the sake of having a lightsaber out. Yo, what do you have to say? Well. Okay, so I now think that we are ready to head back to the Zerka dock now that we've done it, because I think we've done it pretty much everything. So let's head back. So I'll see you guys back at the Zerka dock. So I almost forgot that we had something to do with EI and Matin. And what is this? Is this a battle? Yes it is, let's join in. Victory! And there's more Zerka for us to kill, so let's get to it. Now let's kill this bastard that's in here, right? Unless he's already dead. Oh no, he's fleed. Of course he's ran away. But, as you know, well, as I didn't know actually, siding with Freyr and doing that will actually get rid of these two, so you can't resolve, which is a little bit unfortunate. But the quest is still complete, even if it's not complete in the way that I wanted to complete it in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have the rest of this episode is going to be dedicated to talking to party members in the Ebon Hawk before we move on to the next episode where we will do something else. Guard. So we'll go into the Ebon Hawk. And we'll progress some conversations with characters because we've now got some leveled up. We've leveled up a bunch, so we've now got some more backstory with our characters. So we're going to talk to Candaris. Mission, maybe? No, I don't think we can get much out of mission until we go see our brother. But we're going to talk to everyone and see what everyone is going to say. So here's some mission.
Hey there. I've been thinking about Lena and what she said about Griff. You know, how he was always blaming other people for his problems? There might be something to what she said.
Griff may not be perfect, but he is your brother.
No, of course not. Not really. But what if it was his idea to leave me behind? I'm not saying Griff would just abandon me, but maybe he did want to leave me behind. Just temporarily, you know? He might have done that if he planned on coming back later, but things don't usually work out for Griff the way he planned, you know? And that's when he'd get in trouble. He was always borrowing money he could never pay back. He might have been trying to skip out on his debts when he left Harris. He would have to leave his little sister behind so it would look like he was coming back.
So he sacrificed you to save his own hide?
Yeah, well, no, not exactly. Look, all I'm trying to say is that the more I think back, the more I realize I might be idolizing my brother a bit, not seeing all his faults. I still want to find him. I need to see him again. It's just that I'm not sure how I'll react when I do.
When the time comes, you'll know what to say, Mission.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't want to judge him yet. Maybe Lena was lying. Or maybe she wasn't. All I know is I'd like to speak to Griff myself. If we have time, I'd like to go talk to the Zerka Corp rep on Tatooine and see what he has to say about where my brother is now.
Okay, that's fair enough. We can definitely do that. But, you know what I want to do actually? Because we picked up a lot of stuff. I want to do the workbench, lightsaber. Well, where's my lightsaber? I want to edit my lightsaber. Quick, right, okay, here's my lightsaber. Sigil, tat 1 plus 1 to 6, tat plus 1. The Rubat is quite crap actually. Attack plus 3, oh my god, that is a good crystal. I'm gonna take that. I want that. Or do I? It means that I do less damage, but I have more attack. I'm gonna go for the wider attack because I seem to be missing quite a lot. And I'll swap out my Bondar crystal for a next door crystal. I'm happy with that. Now this one, let's give that the Bondar crystal. Let's give this the Rubar and Sigil crystals. And I've got nothing else. Okay, so that's the lightsabers done. Ranged, Orders repeating blaster. Bandance blaster, Car's blaster. Carf has got all good bandance because it's not good. Okay, so let's put that in there. That's now does 4. Melee, the prototype. Back is ceremonial blade. Well, my prototype fiber blade, I don't think I'm going to be using that. Bastel's got that, but definitely it's not going to be used. I'll put them build back, but what do I need for backers? Take. I'm gonna give all that to Chewbacca, Zalbar, Jesus Christ. Of all that, and I'm gonna take out this and put it into there. Okay. 60-16, that is an awesome weapon. Now armor, Calor Nord, I'm gonna put both of that into there. Right, so what does my lightsaber do now? It does less damage, but it's got a better critical threat and has an attack modifier of +4. So I'm happy with. Okay, let's talk to Candrass.
Yeah, what?
I was wondering if you had any more war stories.
I think I'll tell you a bit about the recent war we had with the Republic. That might be more familiar to you. The one where Jedi Revan beat my people. We started by conquering worlds outside the Republic. We did it quietly, so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. We came in through 3 invasion corridors in adjacent sectors. Anyone who put up a fight, or wouldn't fight, was crushed. We raised whole worlds trying to provoke the Republic into fighting us. I don't particularly enjoy wiping out worlds for its own sake, but the cowardly tactics the Republic defenders used left us little choice.
What do you mean?
Hiding in the homes of civilians, using families as shields, thinking we would not use appropriate force on their bases inside major cities. They underestimated our resolve, and what measures are acceptable in war. Those who cannot defend themselves should not be around those who can in battle. If annihilating a city is the kind of power it takes to overwhelm a Republic shield device, then that's what we did. Necessary force to destroy all opposition.
But killing people is wrong. That's kind of naive. You could have found another way.
I have no time or patience for cowards. They deserve to be hunted down and exterminated like vermin. There was no honor in wiping them out like rats. But some of your forces did redeem the Republic in our eyes. Especially later.
How did they redeem themselves?
Later, when Revan had joined the war. But we'll get back to that. We've wasted too much time already. Is there something else? Your choice.
So, you've heard from Canada started blah blah. You've heard from Canada how the Mandalorians started the war on the Republic and it's just at the beginning. I can probably get another one out of them. Tell me more about the Mandalorian Wars.
We fought against the Republic forces for some time, over the course of many battles. At the start, they were not much of a threat to speak of. But once the Jedi Revan took charge, things began to turn against us. The Republic fleets began to use more than just basic tactics. Feints, counterattacks, mass deceptions. Revan was a genius on the field. Revan abandoned worlds of their defenders so that others would be too fortified to strike, and was willing to make sacrifices in order to advance goals. And in the end, Revan proved too much for us.
But what about the Sith?
The Sith had gone, retreated into their empire. They sealed themselves off from the rest of the galaxy. We thought it would be centuries before they'd come back. It's amazing that they could rebuild their fleet so fast. But at the time, it looked like the galaxy was in our grasp. I still remember that final battle in the skies above Malachor 5. The two fleets filling the space around it, outshining the stars.
What happened in the battle?
It was not your ships, or your men, or your vaunted fight for freedom that won this, the final battle of the war. It was by the actions of one person, the Jedi Revan, that you prevailed. His strategies and tactics defeated the best of us. Even Mandalore himself was taken aback by the ferocity of his attacks, the tenacity of his defenses, and the subtleties of his plans. He fought us to a standstill, and then began pushing back. We really didn't have a chance.
Why don't you retreat?
It was what we had wanted all along, in a way. We wanted to fight the best, in a battle that would be remembered for centuries. And we did. And Revan won. I don't hold a grudge against Revan, and neither do any of my people. It was the greatest moment of my life to be in that battle. If Revan had been a Mandalorian, nothing in the galaxy would have stopped us. But wishing for the past to be different is useless. Better look to the future, as we should now. We'll talk more later, I think. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Okay. Candace described the end of the Mandalorian Wars to you. You seem to admire Revan greatly.
Yeah, what?
More about the Mandalorian Wars, please.
The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it.
How much? There must not be many of you left.
There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. Revan's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor, only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now.
And you eventually came to Taris.
Yeah, I came to Taris. And forcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Terrace and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Terrace could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting.
You're a worthy companion.
Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. For now, though, we should get on with our lives. Is there something else?
Okay, more backstory, more exposition. Kandor has told Revan told how he is very destroyed the Mandalorian's weaponry and exiled him, scattering across the Outer Rim. He thinks that now with you, he might find worthy opponents once again.
Yeah, what do you...
And we're finally done with Kandor. Let's move on. And now we have a new party member. We're going to leave Jolie till last because he's a new party member. So we get T3. Still nothing. We get Zalbar. And I think that's just all the while. That's just the same stuff that we've talked about before. Get Juhani.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if you could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
What are you thinking about?
I have been thinking much about our journey, and I am grateful and honored that you have accepted me with you. I am not used to such unbiased acceptance from one who is nearly a stranger to me. We KOTOR do not make friends easily, or for long. Even on Dantooine I remained alone. Not ostracized exactly, but separate.
Must have been difficult for you.
Yes, it was. I find it difficult to speak of those things. I do not want to live that way ever again. And here, it seems different. It is warming. I feel almost welcome. Needed. You seem to be very decisive when it is required of you. It is reassuring to know that I can count on someone like you.
We are all in this together.
Yes, and that is my point. I find it difficult to explain. It is so different from what I am used to. Just thank you for accepting me.
No problem.
What is it you would like to...
Tell me more about your past.
Well, I suppose I have not talked very much about the Jedi I met back home. They, all of them, were so very invigorating.
Invigorating?
They were so very alive. So full of hope and energy and zeal. In retrospect, I can see it was a little bit tragic.
What do you mean?
Those Jedi were going to fight the Mandalorians just after they had invaded. Many of those Jedi perished in the fighting. But to us, they seemed invincible. Especially their leader, who they talked about all the time. Paragons of light and justice, sweeping away all iniquity before them. It was like looking at gods.
I do look divine. Jedi are not gods.
I know that. I was using poetic license. But those Jedi, they were enthralling. Everyone wanted just to touch them. Some people thought it would bring them luck. Not that the peace they brought lasted very long.
What happened?
The Jedi left. The people grew complacent. Those who had been wronged saw their chance at revenge. And so the cycle continues. The oppressed become the new generation of oppressors. The human oppressed, that is. The non-humans were never treated well in any case. We felt the brunt of both administrations.
Was it that bad?
Of course it was. They took their frustrations and hate out on us because the people they wanted had already fled or were too well protected. But no one looks out for the injustices we suffered. Oh no. But I am sorry. I should not have outbursts like that.
As long as you do not let your anger influence you.
Don't you see? The very fact I mentioned it means it has its influence. Anger can lead to the dark side, and I must be ever careful that I do not fall back into those ways. I thank you for your support. My outburst was uncalled for, but you did not lash back at me. You are a much better Jedi than I, it would seem. But let us not speak more of this now.
Okay. Juhani, I've heard that Juhani for people are oppressed and ostracized by the human majority. Jedi were doing was treat her fairly.
Yes.
You've probably got more.
I have been bothered by something of late.
What is it?
I never told you where I came from, did I? Where I grew up as a child? I suppose I was trying to deny what I was feeling.
What?
I have been wrestling with my feelings inside. Trying to come to terms with it, but I find I cannot. I must have someone to blame. Someone to blame for the destruction of my homeworld. Someone who is responsible for the death of everyone I have ever known, except those on Dantooine.
You mean...
Taris. It was Taris that the Sith destroyed to try to kill you and your precious Bastila. Taris, my homeworld.
It wasn't our fault. Like, we didn't know that Malik was going to bombard Taris, and what could we do about it even though? Like, if we knew that he was gonna bombard Taris regardless. Like, what would you have had? What would Juhani rather us do? Hand ourselves over? Died? Ran ourselves through with our lightsabers?
If it were not for you and Bastila, the Sith would have never had reason to destroy that world. It was your fault for being there, and your fault for rescuing Bastila. Without your intervention, the Sith would have had no cause to lay waste to my childhood.
Or maybe it was the Sith's fault for, like, you know, ambushing us and, like, destroying our ship and, like, forcing us to crash land there, and then, you know, bombarding Taris into oblivion for when they had no actual reason to.
Just let me vent my anger. I need someone to blame. Something. Anything. I hated that world. Yet everything I learned as a child, I learned there. It is as much a part of me as the air I breathe. I have this ache inside me, where all my childhood memories lay, and I find your face there with them. If it was not for you, that world would still exist.
I'm sorry, Johnny, there was no way to prevent it.
I know. I suppose I realized that. But it is so hard to lose your entire past. You would not understand.
It will be alright, Johanny.
Yes. Yes, I suppose it will. As long as we remain focused on our task, it will. I am sorry. I will try not to distract you in the future with my trivial experiences. We should stop for now.
She's so gloomy. Lord Lodge, she was in fact raised on Taris, well, because of you ambassador, somewhere about this maybe explained.
Yes.
Something
I
wrong?
was remembering Taris.
What about it?
It was a horrible place to have to live. At least in the lower cities where the non-humans tended to get relegated. Living for years in a place with no sun, living off the trash dropped from the upper levels, and the meager pay doing back-breaking labor.
And those rat ghouls.
There was always the danger of rat-ghouls coming up from the sewers, or more mundane predators living and working in the area. My family and I struggled each and every day to make something of our lives. But we could only go so far. Taxes from the corrupt government, more fees from the gangs controlling the streets, and whatever was left paying for what food and medical supplies we could afford.
No one would help you?
And of course, there was the constant bigotry and hate from the more affluent and human citizens, lording their wealth over us living below. Every once in a while, a rich human would come down through the lower levels with his droid entourage just to see how the wildlife lived, and laughed at the mockeries that were our successes. But I have come to meet many decent humans in my travels since those days. Indeed, some of the greatest people I have ever met are human.
One of the Jedi you met?
The Jedi who encouraged me to join the Order. The one who was with the group going to fight the Mandalorians. She was human. I am sorry. I am getting away from my point, if there even was one. Sometimes I curse the day my parents fled to Taris. But then again, if they had not, I would not be where I am today.
Fled from where?
Another story for another time. For now, we must continue our own epic.
Oh my god, can you just tell me your story in one go? Damn it. Wondering if you could talk.
What is it you would like?
Nothing, finally! But we're not done yet. We've got Karth and Bastila still. Sorry for this long talking, but it's good to get it all out the way and done with. Let's talk to Karth first.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Do you want to talk? You got pretty upset last time we spoke.
I'm not very good at this. I know I owe you an apology. More than one, probably. I was just so desperate to finally face Saul directly in the battle over Taris. And now the Jedi have us looking for these star maps. I know this mission is important, it's just, I feel a bit useless. I mean, I can fight, sure, but I'm no Jedi. All this feels completely out of my league.
Why don't you return to the front lines then?
Because this is more important. This may really finally make a difference. I suppose even if I can't figure out everything that's going on, I still want to help if I can. I just hate not knowing what's going on and feeling this helpless. But I shouldn't have taken that out on you. I've been a royal pain in the backside, haven't I?
No, not really. No, don't worry about it, Karth.
No, I do worry about it. I've traveled the lanes more than once. I should know better than this. So, I'm sorry. Will you accept my apology?
Only if you agree to work with me for once.
Done. Let's get underway then, shall we, partner?
Finally! Apologised, promised to try not to punish his current crimes for the betrayal of people in his past.
Yes, what's in...
You want to talk? No.
Sorry.
No one can be helped with my story problem. Bastila!
How can I help? I'm confident that...
Oh my god, no one wants to help me with this... Why did the council send me with you on this mission?
Why? I could not accomplish this on my own. I need the aid of others, especially one who is strong in the Force. The bond between us made you a natural choice. Besides, the events on Taris prove that the Force wanted to bring us together for this mission, and there is little left to chance when the Force is involved. Is that not enough for you?
The Force wants us to be together, then why do you keep resisting my undeniable charms?
I said we were brought together for our mission, to stop Malak. I hardly think the Force would be pushing us toward a romantic involvement when the fate of the galaxy is at stake. Please try to stay focused. I doubt the Council would approve if they knew we were busy discussing our mutual attraction when we should be saving the galaxy from Malak.
Ah, mutual attraction, I knew you were interested.
Mutual attraction? I never said... It's just an expression. Whatever our feelings... I mean, whatever your feelings, you have to try to ignore them. Don't let this complicate things. Finding the missing pieces of the star maps is our only hope of locating the Star Forge and defeating Malak. The Council explained all this quite clearly.
It just seems odd they would send me off without a master to guide me.
I admit, there were times that I wondered if this is more than just a mission to stop Malak. There were times when I wondered if this was also a way for the Council to test my own abilities.
I get the feeling there's more going on.
I wondered if the Council wanted to see how I would help and guide you on our quest. I wondered if they were testing me to see if I was ready to become a Jedi Master myself. And then I realized how foolish such thoughts were. As the Council explained, sending a Master in our group would only have drawn unwanted attention from the Sith. The fate of the galaxy is at stake. The Council would not risk it merely to test me. They calculated the risks, and in the end chose the only option available.
I guess that makes sense.
You must learn to trust in the wisdom of the Council. Your destiny will come when its appointed time. You mustn't be so impatient.
Me? You're the one who thought this was our big audition for masterhood.
Must you be so frustrating? I admit, I had a moment of foolish pride, but I'm over it. Now I am focused on my true responsibilities. I'm simply trying to help you and complete this mission, and yet you battle me at every turn.
What can I say? It's fun.
Fun? Fun? Driving me insane is your idea of a good time?
Careful, remember your self-control.
You are a very odd man. Do you know that? I simply don't know how to deal with you. All I want to do is help you, but you seem determined to drive me mad.
Complain all you want, but I know you love it.
I don't know if I should be outraged that you keep joking about serious matters, or if I should be grateful that you can always lighten the mood. Come, let's move on. There's much to be done.
Oh, finally, okay.
How can I...
Anything else? Nope. Okay, so we're finally done. Finally. So I'll see you guys next time when we go to a new world. See you then.